Hello and welcome to the IGN UK Podcast. I'm Alex and I'm back after, I don't know, it's been a couple of weeks, I think?
Yeah.
3 weeks, 4 weeks? I don't know.
I've been counting the days.
Have you? No. Oh, at least pretend for a little bit longer rather than sticking that dagger in my heart within seconds.
Yeah, it was unnecessary, wasn't it? That sorry.
Bitch to my left is Gav Murphy.
Hello.
Shots fired already within 30 seconds.
And Rory, who is altogether much nicer, is to my right.
Yeah.
How are you guys doing?
Yeah, really good.
Awesome.
Yeah?
Awesome. Pumped for Christmas and that.
Question, how much Christmas shopping have you done?
Oh, nothing. Like absolutely nothing.
Nothing at all.
Well, my girlfriend's done this thing where she started making a lot of our presents for my family and
It's
stuff.
only downhill from there.
But some, no, she's not making mine. But she's made all of my family's presents, and they're really good as well.
Like what?
Like
hats.
jars that are now vases, and now some cups. She made my mum like an entire sort of tea set. But she bought like a really rubbish tea set from IKEA, and she's like been spraying it, and she's made it like a Christmas tea set.
Quick question.
It's very impressive.
Are you dating a homeless woman?
She might be. She lives on a boat, so she might be some kind of pirate, I think. But
Cool.
That's,
Salvaging
what do you want for Christmas then? Apart from
well, I'm getting cups. So
You're getting
Just
jars,
tea
mate. Whatever you want.
I don't know actually. I think some Lego. Yeah, there's a lot of cool Lego out this year. So
anything in particular?
I want to get Ecto 1 because that's really
Not
cool.
got that yet?
No, well,
It
we
is
had
awesome.
it at the place that I used to work at, and I got to like help build it, but I didn't get
That is a cock tease.
Yeah, I didn't
You
get
can
one on my
build
own.
it, but yeah, it's not yours.
Yeah, so Ecto 1 looks really, really good. I'd love to get a DeLorean as well. I think those
They have a
just-
Lego DeLorean?
Yeah, it's awesome. I think it's sold out everywhere though.
That's amazing.
It was definitely in stock a couple of
okay.
months ago.
Yeah.
See, I aimed my sights a bit higher. Originally, I wanted the tumbler,
Okay. Because that's like
170 quid.
oh, I thought it was more than that.
No, 170.
I thought it was like 300. So get.
Good God.
Still quite expensive though. But the Ultimate Collector Series version of Slave 1 comes out beginning
really?
of January.
Okay.
And my wife said you can have one or the other, you can't have both, which is fair enough, I guess.
Yeah.
Because to sort of drop like 320 quid on Lego in the space of like a month is, yeah. It's probably
And you've
bit
got a
excessive.
child.
And another
one on the way.
coming.
Yeah.
I know, right? So, yeah.
That's amazing.
Actually taking food out your
But
children's
that's,
mouths.
I thought, well, this is my kind of last hurrah.
Yeah.
And I love the idea of kind
Lego
of...
was your last
That's a great
hurrah.
midlife crisis. It's just hundreds of pounds worth of Lego.
Yeah.
But
Not like a
'cause
Ferrari
I was just
or
looking
something
forward
like
to waking
that.
up on Christmas Day and
Having
building
something to
Lego
do,
all day.
yeah.
Although, let's face it, that wouldn't really have happened.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I decided, look, I love the tumbler, but Boba Fett's always been my little baby. So I'm going to wait.
Okay.
So I'll get nothing on Christmas Day.
Oh no.
I know.
That's sad.
That's awful.
Have you done any shopping?
No, not at all. I literally, well, I've been in the market, as you guys know. I've been looking at Xbox Ones.
Yeah, but I actually meant presents for other people, not
Yeah,
for
not
yourself.
for yourself.
No, one of the many benefits of having no friends or family.
Right.
So it's fantastic, yeah.
Family.
No, of
Oh
course.
my god.
I'm a test tube baby. No, so I haven't done too much shopping so far. I actually did. I bought one present earlier today. I don't know if that person is going to be listening to this podcast, so
I would guess not, to
I'm
be
going to
honest.
keep on the hush about it. But
Unless it's one of us.
Oh yeah, that's a
unless
good
it's-
point.
Yeah, I got you a jar, Alex.
Did you?
Yeah.
I love jars.
Yeah.
So no, I haven't done too much. I have a family that live. I'm kind of disappointed about this actually. A lot of my family is all over the world, so that kind of like Christmas shopping is now majority just online. Like
Amazon.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
Yeah,
much.
but that's all of my family is nearby, and it's still Amazon.
Yeah, but
It's
do you,
the cheapest and easiest
do you
way
never
to
like
do it.
going out with money and going around the shops?
I can't think of anything worse.
Exactly,
No?
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
just me.
Like,
Not for me.
obviously, based where we are in the middle of London, it's
Yes.
sometimes a bit easier because you can just nip along Oxford Street.
Yeah.
But half the time,
Yeah.
pretty much everything I've got so far, well, everything I have got so far has been off Amazon, and it's been in the Black Friday sales. So, got to get a
Fair enough.
bargain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Anyway, so you were talking, you're going to get an Xbox One.
Yeah, despite disapproving
It's
glares
only-
from everyone in the office.
It's only because we all play on PS4. And if
Yeah.
you don't want to be part of our gang, that's absolutely fine.
I'll start my own. I'll get who in the office doesn't have a console? Who can I rally up?
Chris, Tilly.
Chris. Oh, okay, well,
But he's not going to buy an Xbox One
No,
or a
he's
PS4.
not.
Yeah.
I'll do Christmas shopping. I'll buy everyone
Yeah.
Xboxes, and then
Oh, all right then.
if I buy you an Xbox,
I have
hypothetically speaking,
I've got an Xbox.
You have an?
I have an Xbox.
But
But
he still doesn't want to be in your Xbox gang.
yeah, I know. This hurts.
But it's
This
that
is
whole
awful.
thing of, I'm not going to start, we'll play on both consoles.
That's true.
Because at the minute I'm playing through Far Cry 4, got quite a long way into it. If you start playing it, we could be co-op buddies. But you'll be so far behind. You know, just be like.
Well, I won't. When I get it, I'll catch up.
Yeah.
I'm fast. I'm a fast learner.
It's not the same thing.
Karat will be freed on Xbox and PlayStation.
Good.
Definitely
What do you
worth
see?
doing.
What do you
Should we
see?
crack on with the news?
Yes.
Yes.
Right, so the first piece of news is, so I think last week you guys were talking about how kind of screwed up AAA games are and that
Yes.
they get released in the kind of buggiest state ever.
Yeah.
Well, Ubisoft has come out and apologised for the state of Unity.
That's quite cool. of them.
So it was the Ubisoft Montreal CEO, Yannis Malat, I think that's how you pronounce his name.
Probably, yeah.
So the guy who is in creative lead for Assassin's Creed, basically long email that he sent out yesterday saying it's not up to standard. Look, you guys expect a certain level from Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
And as a way of apology, if you don't have the season pass, you get the first part of DLC for free.
Cool.
If you've bought the season pass, then you get a free game.
What game?
Wow. This is the thing. Really good game.
Raving Rabbids.
Well, let's start
Viva ya
at
Pinata.
the bottom end.
Okay.
Just Dance 2015.
That's all right.
No,
Just
it's
Dance.
not.
I'm a Just Dance fan.
Okay.
Good when you're pissed.
Assassin's Creed Black Flag. So you can go back
That's
and see
awesome.
what you missed.
That's a
I know,
good
it's a
one.
good game, but again, a bit old. Gets better.
Is this next gen? Can you get Black Flag on PS4 or Xbox One?
Yeah, yeah, it should be. I would have
Is
thought.
Black Flag
Yeah.
for next gen?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Black
okay.
Flag. Yeah,
Yeah.
Black Flag was on both. Yeah.
Ah.
Rayman Legends,
Amazing game.
Watch Dogs,
No.
The Crew. We haven't reviewed it yet. I've played the beta.
Oh, that's the driving one,
particularly
isn't it?
impressed. Yeah.
Okay.
I love the idea of it, but the reality of it from the beta wasn't that exciting for me.
Okay.
Do you say
But-
beta?
Beta, yeah.
Beta. Beta?
Beta.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to beat her.
Ooh.
Far Cry 4 for free.
Hey, there
Really?
you go.
That's like if you
That's amazing.
If you've ordered the season pass, you can get a copy of Far Cry 4 for free.
That's awesome.
Well, weren't
So-
Xbox giving away a free download for Sunset Overdrive for like 24 hours?
Yeah, but Sunset Overdrive is not like Far Cry
I know
4.
it's not
Yeah.
like, but I mean, it's still a huge title
Yeah.
to be giving, especially like so early in the game as well.
Maybe
I
no
would
one's
definitely
buying
think
it.
about that. Yeah. Oh man.
It's come out at a tricky time, isn't it? Like, by all accounts, it's an interesting game, but it's
Yeah.
there's so much other stuff out there. But you got an email, or
I
we
did.
got an email from
Joshua Piggott Smith, who says, Duck Hunt, I recently read the news about Ubisoft offering free DLC and in some cases a free game to those people who bought Assassin's Creed Unity. As someone who bought Assassin's Creed at launch, I have to say I'm amazed and delighted that Ubisoft have gone this far to appease fans, especially as I haven't really experienced any of the various bugs reported. So he's on to a winner, really.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Although he doesn't say that whether he's bought the season pass or not.
Oh, right, okay.
You need to have bought the season pass to get a free game. They're not just handing out games to everybody who's bought Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. What do you think about the service? Do you think more companies should offer it? And if so, on what basis? If I'd bought Drive Club, for example, I'd be demanding some shares in Sony and a free TV by this point.
Yeah, Drive Club.
The thing is, that's a fair point, though, because
Yeah.
what if you've bought Drive Club and you've bought the season pass? Or what if you have all those games?
Yeah.
Then you're like, Although,
So in terms of all the Ubisoft stuff.
yeah. If you have all those,
Yeah.
then, other people are getting
You're
free
rich.
stuff.
So-
Yeah, I guess so.
What do you need more free stuff for?
Yeah.
You
I would
got all the
say-
money you need.
Yeah, if they would have offered up a load of old games, it would be that's pretty like cutting edge stuff
Yeah,
there.
Far
Like a
Cry
game
4
that's
is good, yeah.
literally just come out.
I
I think
yeah.
is an amazing offer.
I think it's a good service, but at the end of the day, sort of the least they can do.
Yeah.
Like after making people buy a game that doesn't work.
Well, I think importantly, but that's for Drive Club, I agree.
Yeah.
But for Assassin's Creed Unity,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
played the game for God knows how long, and he hasn't really experienced any bugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And like when I played, I haven't played it for an awful a lot of time. It was a
didn't
bit
get
laggy, a bit sort of jittery at times.
Well, Dan was playing it, and there were cutscenes where it would swap to the other person who just wasn't
Oh,
there.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
just kind of like really.
That's
kinda
quite
faulty
funny,
stuff
though.
Like that.
Yeah.
It's
If I
funny,
had
but I
played
mean,
it
if you're
now-
trying to get into the narrative, I could see how that would bug you a bit. Like when the novelty's worn off, and you're like, I kind of need to know
I
what's
guess so.
going on at this point.
But
Yeah.
I do think I agree with you. I think it's if people are aware that they're putting out games that aren't up to scratch. And so I think there's a difference here. There's games like Assassin's Creed Unity, which are obviously broken
Yeah.
when that came out. There's other games like GTA 5 with the online component.
Okay.
It's really hard to kind of test that until you put it in a live environment
Yeah,
and
exactly,
you've got
yeah.
100 people playtesting it or 500 people,
Yeah.
and then suddenly millions are playing it.
Yeah.
I think that's different. because you've got that level of stress testing. But like Unity, it should just not have been released.
No, I guess not.
Well, this kind of thing's happening with the Halo Master Chief Collection as well.
Yeah.
They're having huge problems with not just matchmaking, but some people have problems with the campaign missions. And I don't know yet if Microsoft are offering any kind of, but I mean, it's been ongoing as well for a couple of weeks now.
Yeah.
Despite the patches, so.
Well, Far Cry, like Creeper has had some problems in Far Cry because I've been playing single player at home, co-op at work, and it's screwed up his progress.
Right.
Because like when you go through Far Cry, the more bell towers you unlock, the more outposts you liberate, you unlock new weapons, blah 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 blah. And I don't know whether it's synced to my game or whatever, but he's gone through and liberated all the bell towers, all of the outposts, but it hasn't registered it in his progress bar.
Oh, that's awful.
So you look at the map, you can't go and take any more, but that weapon hasn't been unlocked at the trade. So it's a bit screwed.
That's annoying.
It happened to me, but then I patched it with the new thing and it's fixed it.
Right.
But it hasn't for Krupa. So he's obviously a bit gutted.
Yeah. I like that.
And now we're refusing to play co-op with each other just in case it screws with each other's games.
That's sad.
But yeah, it just feels like every single kind of big game
There's something wrong with it.
Screwed, apart from Nintendo games.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm hyped. I was actually very tempted to get a Wii U this Christmas instead of an Xbox One.
I would definitely do that.
Just for Bayonetta 2 and a lot of the releases that are coming up, Smash Bros as well.
What about all the releases that have been? If you bought a Wii U now, like you wouldn't have to buy another game for a year.
I know.
Like there's so many games that come out of it, and like brilliant games as well.
That'll be my I think after the Xbox One, that'll be my next console. I'm gonna get one like as soon as I can.
Well, sad Dan Kilby was saying just before this podcast that he's going to buy one tomorrow because I think Gamer's got a deal on them, 180 quid or something like that.
180? What? This is stressing me out.
But
because I'm just thinking of all the Black Friday deals I'm missing as I'm on this podcast right now.
But I think it is true. Like a year ago, there wasn't really a kind of solid reason to buy a Wii U, and now there are kind of like 4 or 5 really good reasons. Mario Kart, absolutely. Smash Brothers, Bayonetta, and then all the games that came out, a while ago. So Wind Waker and Pikmin, all that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, awesome. What else have we got news-wise? The Jurassic World trailer. That was a good day when that came out.
So, unfortunately, Krupa is a mega fan. Are you a mega fan?
Huge, yeah. I think this is part of the reason that I think I got the job here. That he was like, I want somebody else who likes Jurassic Park as much as me on the staff, which is good. Because that's how I sort of met Dan. I was on Twitter talking about Jurassic World.
Is that right?
Jurassic Park, yeah.
Like online dating or something.
Yeah.
It's like shared interests.
You know what's funny as well is that your favorite film was his favorite film, and then my favorite film is Chris's favorite film.
What's that?
Back to the Future.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we just synced up. And apparently I found out last night that we were all chubby children as well. So we have that in common as well. We were all fat kids with the same films.
Tilly wasn't, was he?
I think so.
Like Krupa was, but I don't think Bear Park was.
I saw some amazing.
I'd love to see a photo of Bear Park.
He showed me some amazing photos of him the other day. They're really good. But the Jurassic World trailer came out. I thought it was really good. Maybe I'm not in the. I am pretty biased because I love everything Jurassic Park, and it's been a long enough time since I saw Jurassic Park 3 to sort of be jaded by that.
Because I didn't mind 3.
Really?
Yeah.
There's some good scenes.
That was the one with the cell phone in the.
No, it goes 1, 2, 3.
No, it doesn't.
3 was the one with the cell phone.
Let's change the talking point. The talking point's going to be that.
We're just debating that.
Yeah,
arguing.
Really good. And there's a thing. Like 2 and 3 aren't great films, but there's great scenes in them. I think. But yeah, Jurassic World. I think for me, like the trailer, there's a lot of sort of criticism. A lot of people saying that they thought it was a terrible trailer and different things. But I think it's very, very early on, and I think from what they showed, I thought it was quite a brave trailer.
I can't see how you would look at that and go, it's a terrible trailer. Because it's just a lot of fun.
Exactly, yeah.
And, I personally am really excited for the film.
Yeah.
I don't really know that much about the director and, how much he's going to kind of bring to it. But in terms of the idea of this fully fledged park being open, then obviously disaster strikes, whether it's a hybrid dinosaur, whatever the heck it is.
Well, we
gone
talked
wrong.
about this a little bit last week, where I said I'd rewatch Safety Not Guaranteed to sort of see if I could work out why they'd chosen him. But at that point, I completely forgot that he's written the script as well. So I think hopefully he's written some kind of sort of grounded way of doing it. Although by looking in the trailer, that's not happened at all. But it's I thought it was an interesting trailer. And I mean, Chris Pratt is brilliant in everything. I think so. I think he's going to carry it. It was also quite sort of interesting to see, because everyone pretty much at the moment thinks that Chris Pratt can do no wrong. Like he is the sort of golden boy at the moment. To see such a backlash against the trailer, saying, "Oh, it wasn't a great trailer," like. I don't know. I was quite surprised with that because I thought, but then at the same time, he wasn't sort of joking around or anything like that. He plays his character in the trailer completely straight. And I said to Krupa, like, I hope there's a little bit more bants to him. Because he was very serious dude in a very serious leather waistcoat.
Because that's the only side of Chris Pratt that I know. Like,
have you never seen Parks and Rec?
No.
It's really funny.
No, but that's what I mean.
He
That's
plays like a jolly, like,
but he's still
chubby
a
guy.
comedy character, right?
Oh yeah.
But you're right. Is he going to turn into Sam Neill or something?
I really
like
hope
that?
not.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's all me and Krupa talked about. Like, we went to the pub straight after. We were going to do the Rewind Theatre, and I've never been so sad about anything in my life.
No.
Like
Drilling.
Oh, the drilling.
But there's a drill outside that goes from like 8 till 9:30 and then starts up again at 5. So we were sitting there all day going, and it was my Rewind Theatre. And like, you know, I've been an IGN fan since I was a kid, and to actually be doing my first Rewind Theatre, and it was Jurassic World. Oh, I was losing my shit.
You never know. It could be Star Wars.
I'm just imagining the builders outside as being like, "Should we start now, sir?" No, wait.
Yeah.
They haven't started yet.
But
Hello, welcome to IGN.
I was like a little kid setting up the studio. I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome. And then the drilling starts. I didn't get to do it in the end. So.
Yeah.
But we did get to do a conversation on it. So I was like, okay. I
really enjoyed the trailer. I was really into it right up until the point where Chris Pratt looks up at the camera and said, "Depends on what kind of dinosaur they cooked up in there."
Yeah, it wasn't a great line.
And I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
It completely took me out. I
That
thought it was
was-
just really, it was like a line you'd hear in like a parody of.
It's not good, yeah.
It wasn't great. But his one before it was great. And the whole trailer, I did enjoy it. It's just that was a bit
the guy
short.
who's standing next to him in that paddock, for Parks and Rec fans, is the guy called Lawrence from the first season of Parks and Recreation that Chris Pratt chases down the street naked.
Oh, really?
I haven't seen that sort of. Nobody has pointed that out, so I felt
That's
like
hilarious.
it's my
That's why you
duty
should
to
have
do
done
it.
the Rewind
Exactly,
Theatre.
yeah.
God damn.
But like that's all we've been doing. Like we've been looking back, like because you know we've got these like massive theories for it and stuff like that, and like we keep looking at it all the
Krupa
time.
keeps on coming up with like crazy theories.
His written rewind theatre is really, really good.
Yeah.
He's kind of, because basically every crazy theory that we had in the pub, he's just written down. So
Yeah.
it's really good. Yeah.
That's the way it should be.
But I mean, I'm excited for it. It's the same month as my 30th birthday. Like, I'm so excited for it that I think I'm sort of going
You're
in
going to go to
blinkers.
Jurassic Park for your birthday.
Well, my birthday's on the 29th of June and it's out on the 12th. There's absolutely no way I'm going to be able to wait 17 days, I don't think.
But wouldn't it be cool if there really was a Jurassic Park?
Well, we said
would
this,
go.
like, there was a point
Amazing.
at some point where because the trailer obviously went up live, the trailer was meant to go live tomorrow, or today if you're listening to this, like on Friday.
Yeah.
But because Star Wars have said that they're going to put their trailer, it came out a little bit earlier. But the official site, which had a countdown to when the trailer was going to go live, it was still going after the trailer gone up for like 2 days. And we were like, imagine if that 2 days was like an actual park. We're like, oh yeah, like, and then upstage Star Wars with the trailer, like, oh, little trailer of you. Yeah, we make some real dinosaurs in a real park, mate. So
that would be amazing. I would totally.
Well, I went
imagine
to-
that. Like Disney World would close.
oh my god.
Well, they have.
Well, no, they'd be part of it. Oh no, they wouldn't, would they? Because they're not Disney.
It's Universal.
They're Universal.
Star
yeah.
Wars World. Yes.
One cool thing is if we were looking at all like sort of the leaked, there was a couple of sort of leaked images and things, and one of the tour things was like tour guide presented by Jimmy Fallon.
Right.
And Jimmy Fallon's the person who presents the Universal Studios tour. So when you go on the Universal Studios tour, he's your virtual tour guide.
Yeah.
And he's going to be doing the Jurassic World one as well. Like, I'm not a huge Jimmy Fallon fan, but I was a fan of that little thing. I was like,
that's cool.
There's little nice little touches,
It
isn't
is.
there?
It is.
Yeah.
We have got a lot of feedback about Jurassic World, so we'll talk about that later in the show.
Awesome.
Next up, Christian Bale.
Yeah, Christian Bale is apparently jealous of Affleck playing Batman, which I did a news piece on this today. It was kind of bittersweet. It was one of those things where he said as soon as he finished, he felt like it was time to stop, but there was always a part of him that said oh, go on, let's do another one. And he said when he found out that Ben Affleck was doing it, he just kind of stared into nothing for about half an hour. And that's a very Christian Bale response, isn't it? You can just imagine that just kind of...
I personally think this is a news story that's been blown way out of proportion by people who make news videos
definitely.
for a living, like yourself. But no, because
Every news story is.
when I read it, I think if you read, I think it's sort of tongue in cheek where he's like, yeah, you know, I'm gutted that. I don't think he's just like, damn you, Ben Affleck.
I think he is. He's got the cowl on.
No, he's Welsh. He's laid back. He's
Gavin,
laid back like me.
Do you think that Christian Bale is laid back?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Gavin, I did
That's all an act.
I did a news piece today on a waffle iron that makes waffles in the shape of keyboards. Okay, so I need these pieces to be blown out of proportion. This is
how you sold it to your I'm going to London, family.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and fulfill my dream and make videos about
Everyone's
waffle
like, yeah,
irons.
that's really cool. You're presenting the news. And then they see me being like, do you like waffles in the shape of computers? Yeah, just me kind of...
I think, I mean, it's sort of like when you break up with someone, and you break up with someone, you think, yeah, I definitely made the right decision. And then you see them going out with someone really hot, and then he's like, shit.
They're going out with Batman.
I want to go back out with
Especially
them.
if it's Batman.
Yeah,
It's like, you
yeah.
feel doubly worse. It's like, damn it. I've
But
lost-
yeah, I mean, he obviously...
let her go, bro.
Yeah, he obviously loved playing that character, and, you know, and that character, for me, like, at the moment, Batman is Christian Bale.
Yeah.
So... you know, it doesn't even seem that he's had that much of a time to sort of develop a legacy because right now Ben Affleck is going to be Batman like straight away, and it's
kind
like
of difference between it is
so it's kind of hard
short.
because you know a lot of people he's not going to have that sort of history with it. It's going to be he's just going to be another Batman rather than the Batman. So that's quite sad, I think.
But also, I could never see him like reprising Batman under Zack Schneider.
No.
I just can't see that
me
working.
neither.
So.
But then I guess we don't know what kind of Batman's going to be or anything.
No, we
like
don't.
that,
But again, like I think keep the kind of Nolan Batmans as they are with Christian Bale.
We
and
definitely
this is
made
a different direction, hopefully.
You made the right choice. Like the Dark Knight trilogy was fantastic. It's great. It was a complete story. Let's just cut it and do something else. I don't think there's any need to draw it out anymore.
But I do feel sorry for the fact he sat in his little Welsh cottage crying, thinking about what could have been. I was Batman.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing.
Bless him.
Last piece of news. There was a trailer. I don't know if you've seen it.
I haven't actually, no.
I'm so upset that I haven't seen it.
Okay, so Call of Duty Zombies has obviously been a big thing for quite a long time, but they're taking it in a new direction.
Okay.
Now, Advanced Warfare, obviously set in the future, dudes with exosuits.
Yeah.
And in previous Call of Duties that Treyarch have done, it's all been like comedy, co-op, etc.
Yeah.
But apparently it's much more kind of serious, Left 4 Dead style, and the zombies have got fucking exosuits.
That's pretty
Which
cool.
sounds
about
pretty...
Yeah.
Really? What?
This is a dark part of my history. You guys don't know this. I was a huge Call of Duty Zombies fan. Absolutely, to the point where I had like a whole like crack team of zombie survival experts.
Yeah.
I think the furthest we got was level 50, round 50, which took, I don't quite remember, I think it was 14 hours of consecutive.
What?
It was about a day. It was absolutely insane.
It's time to get to the root of the fact that you were a fat kid.
Yeah, well, there you go, exactly. Real apocalypse, no chance. But on the Xbox, absolutely.
14 hours.
I think it was 14 hours.
Straight.
Yes, straight. This is where it gets hilarious because there's no breaks, you know.
So what do you do? Handing your pad over to somebody else?
As soon as the round is over, when you kill the last zombie, the next one begins. So what you have to do is, they're called crawlers. You make crawlers, which is, you know, you blow their legs off so they crawl around so they're slow. And then this is so nerdy, you're on Xbox Live and you're like, okay, does anyone need bathroom breaks or anything like that? And then what you do is you keep the crawler alive. So you kind of do loops and he chases after you while other players like go AFK and go to the bathroom, get food.
God.
That's actually really clever.
It's tough because it gets to the point on round like 45 where one round can last up to an hour itself.
Yeah.
Like it gets exponentially harder as you progress. So it's crazy. So, I mean, exoskeletons? I think I'm just scared that I won't be good at it.
So in the trailer is it shows like I can't remember the name of the guy.
This isn't the leaked one, is it?
Oh, it came out officially yesterday.
Okay, well, I have seen it then, yeah.
But it's I don't know if it was the same trailer because there was details leaked before. So anyway, this one is a guy running away, zombies running towards him, and it feels a lot like kind of World War Z.
Yeah.
Like the sheer number of them running, and they get into a helicopter, take off.
Yeah, I have seen.
And then basically
really
one of the exosuit zombies jumps up behind, and it fades to black. And I don't know, that just feels cool.
Something a little bit different, isn't it? Like, that's a way of doing it a bit different.
Because I'm the flip side. I found the kind of cheesy kind of comedy.
The like B-movie stuff, I thought it was really cool.
Well, I
liked it.
So, if it's more like Left 4 Dead, I am well up for that.
Yeah, Left 4
4
Dead
Dead
is really good.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I'm up for
This
it.
is the Jurassic Park thing. It's like, should they be genetically enhancing zombies?
Comedy zombies or exosuit. Come on, exosuit zombies.
Yeah, I'm up for it. Like anything that's a little tiny bit new. Like the zombies are a little bit tired now, aren't they? So.
Yeah.
Good.
Depends on what kind of zombies they're cooking up in there.
That's it for this week's news. So this week's talking point, James Cameron.
Yes,
come
here he
out with
is.
I read this today.
a rather interesting quote about the new Avatar films.
Yeah, so he was talking with Empire and about the Avatar movies, and there's quite a cool quote. Is it a cool quote? I don't know.
It's just, I wouldn't expect
No.
a Hollywood director to say this.
About his planned trilogy of sequels, he says, they're going to be bitching. You will shit yourself with your mouth wide open. The Oscar-winning filmmaker said.
Like that whole phrase of shitting myself with my mouth wide open is like
Sounds awful.
For me, shitting myself means scared.
yeah.
So are they going to be scary, or is he saying like we're going to be so impressed we're going to literally shit in the cinema?
Because you're right. Because I think you would piss your pants in excitement.
That's almost a phrase.
Also
isn't it,
scared.
right? I've heard people say
Really?
that.
Also, yeah, if
If
there's anything coming,
you lose control down there when something makes you jump.
When
That's
you're
actually-
editing, Gav, I'm going to come up behind you and go, boo! And then you just release
that's
all
actually the only
bodily
way that I
fluids.
can piss or shit if someone scares me.
Right.
Otherwise, it just all gets backed up.
Right.
I have to watch like a horror movie to
You're
empty
constantly
myself
sitting
every
in
day.
the toilet waiting for somebody to push the door open.
Yeah. Danger shits. That's what I need.
But then, like the whole mouth open thing as well. I was like, oh
That's
my
what I mean.
God.
I think he
man.
means we're going to be so impressed. We're going to be and shitting. But then if you're in a cinema, you might get someone else's shit inside your mouth.
Yeah.
Come on, David.
Well, that's what the original
James.
Avatar felt a little bit like, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't a fan of Avatar. I fell asleep
Me
for about
neither.
30 minutes.
It was too
Well,
long.
that'll impact your judgment,
Yeah.
surely.
I thought the 3D was impressive. But I watched it in 2D at home.
Oh, really?
Oh God, I was ill.
Yeah.
I'd gone through all.
Did
of
you
my
shit
other
yourself?
films. Did I?
Is
I
that-
didn't.
No.
My mouth was open. That's probably because I was there going.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan. It never touched me in any kind of exciting way. Like I went to see it at IMAX as well, and I was
Yeah.
prepared for this to be really fucking incredible,
I saw it at
and
IMAX, yeah.
and it just wasn't. It was just I just didn't buy into the world, didn't buy into any of the characters. It just wasn't for me at all. I mean, I know like a lot of people are different, and I can understand why people like it. And a lot of people actually want to live in Pandora. There's like a whole sort of subculture of people who are so obsessed with it.
Right.
That's weird.
And like a couple of people like IGN like absolutely love it. Like Chris, who was on the podcast a few like weeks back, he loves it.
Tilly?
Like no, what's his
Oh.
name? The American guy, Chris.
Oh, Chris Cole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He loves it.
I was going to say I've never heard Chris
No,
Tilly say that he
yeah.
I
likes
can't
Chris Cole
imagine
loves it,
Alex
yeah.
loving Avatar.
Yeah, he really, really likes it. But I mean, the talking point that I wanted to say was like, does anyone still care about Avatar?
Well, that's it. It's kind of disappeared
Yeah.
from like memory. Like when did it come out? Can you remember?
Oh, no, let's check it.
He said in that article he mentioned about like the third and fourth Avatar.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I'm like, well, where's the
Well, that's the thing.
second?
It's a planned trilogy of sequels now. It's not. That's the thing, and it's such an odd thing to do. Is like release one
weird.
and then go right now. The next one is going to be it's going to be three. It's like we'll work on one, and I'll read you a little bit in a second now after
Yeah.
I find out. But 2009.
Right. So 5 years ago. That is a long time.
That's ages. And like, even though it had a massive impact,
Yeah.
it won Oscars, it went crazy money wise and things like that. Like, broke loads of records. 5 years is a long time, and like,
and it's not even coming out now. Like,
no, yeah, it's not out for a while. But that's the thing, like. Obviously, the way that he's doing it is to do it in the same kind of way as like Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit,
Yeah.
to release them sort of every single year like that, which I guess makes sense because that worked for those ones. Like, but he's
I think also with those films, it's like you obviously knew what's kind of happening with
Yeah.
those films. You knew the conclusion was coming. It
Where can
feels
you go
like
from
well,
here?
if
Yeah.
there's 4 already lined up, it could be another like 7 coming after that, and it's just like, oh God.
in a way though
Oh, God.
that actually quite excites me. Like having a trilogy of films where I have no idea what's going on. But in
Yeah.
fairness, I haven't
don't
haven't
care.
read Hobbit or Lord of the Rings, so
Right.
I don't know what's going on with those ones.
Right, okay. But the thing about those books is that there was a natural epic conclusion. And like at the end of Fellowship of the Ring, I wanted to know what was going to happen with Frodo and all that kind of stuff. At the end of Avatar, I was like, okay, let's move on to something else. I don't feel like, I want to see what's going to happen.
There's something
next
else that like to revisit. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like this is the thing that I found really interesting about this article, though, and for me, like this doesn't sound like a good thing. Like reading this, so he says he also revealed the curious process of working with 4 screenwriters. I think we met for 7 months. Oh yeah, there you go. So different people are working on different ones.
Right.
I think we met for 7 months and we whiteboarded out every scene in every film together. And I didn't assign each.
That's a big whiteboard.
And I didn't assign each writer which film they were going to work on until the last day. So they were working on the storyboard for every single film, but they didn't know which one they were actually going to go sit down and write, which is good because I guess. Then you've got, if you're working on number 2, you know what happens in number 4. That's good.
Yeah.
But then, this is curious to me. I knew if I assigned them their scripts ahead of time, they'd tune out every time we were talking about the other movie. Like, I think you need like talk to your HR woman if that's happening.
Exactly.
Like, I knew they'd just get bored of shit, so...
Get people that are actually committed to the project. It's like, I just want to look at my movie, nothing else.
Yeah, but then, I mean, that obviously, like, it's good that they were working together, but it still seems quite odd to me that they would be that separate when they were actually then going off to write the movies.
Yeah. Unless they're going to come back and then pull it all together, I don't know.
I guess so, yeah.
But like, did it actually say when Avatar 2 is coming out?
No, not in here.
The future.
But, I mean... I don't know. I mean, maybe it's because I didn't like Avatar. I don't care about 2, 3, and 4. But, I mean, maybe there are people out there. I mean, if you are one of those people, please let us know in the comments.
But I also think... I think the kind of like movie landscape is a little bit different now than it was back then, because if you look at, Marvel have really kind of upped their game.
Yeah.
Star Wars is going to be everywhere.
Yeah.
DC slate is, there are big blockbusters.
Yeah.
Every 3 months now.
And that's the thing. It's interesting to see that Cameron's gone for the Lord of the Rings sort of format and going, okay, we're going to release one like that.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of other people have gone for the Marvel format of going like, okay, we're going to release here and here, and we're going to build this universe like this, which is what Universal Monsters are going to do.
Yeah.
They it's odd to see people looking at different things and going...
These like structures from franchises, and
but I wonder if he's like putting his horse to the wrong cart, because for me, like Lord of the Rings, okay, they are super successful, but... they have a license to pretty much print money because they have such a dedicated fan base that's been built up over the course of, well, by the end of this, 6 films.
Yeah.
So I think, I don't know, will people care enough?
Yeah.
To go see 3, to really commit to going to see 3
the second
Avatar
one will
sequels?
have to be really good.
Yeah.
To justify having a trilogy essentially.
I mean, I'm interested in it because I'm impressed with anyone who can create a world where they think that they can get 4 films out of it.
Yeah.
I mean...
Well, it worked so well for The Matrix, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, let us know if you think that, if you care about Avatar.
But also, I remember when Sam Worthington was the kind of hottest property in Hollywood, and now... Because I assume that he's coming back for 2. You would assume so.
Yeah, I mean, I always found it weird with him because it almost seemed like it was just like one of those like stars that sort of came from nowhere, and everyone just decided, oh yeah, you're going to be massive now.
Yeah,
like go on.
Yeah, because what was you? Avatar,
Terminator,
whatever that kind of Jason and the Argonauts style film was called.
I
forgot what it's called.
Titans. Clash of the Titans.
Like Clash of the Titans.
Clash of the Titans.
Yeah, the remake of that. And now, whoops.
He's been working on 3 Avatar films.
That's it.
3 films back to back. That's probably going to take quite a long time. Yeah.
It's just funny because with that quote about the audience shitting themselves and about his creative team losing interest immediately, sounds like he's making films with a fraternity or something.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of teenagers. It's really strange.
Well, there we are. Reader feedback.
Yes, so I've got the first piece of feedback, I believe, and it says, given the debut of the Jurassic World trailer, I couldn't help but feel cautious for several reasons. Will the overuse of CG in some way damage the believability? Nice word. Given how real the world looked for people who grew up with the first movie. I think that's a good point, because obviously Spielberg was a massive advocate of using puppetry on a huge scale. Like you've obviously seen the kind of behind-scenes stuff.
Yeah.
And the T-Rex kind of... hydraulic kind of head.
Yeah.
Animatronic. It's insane. Yeah. Animatronic. Thank you. Yes.
Another good word.
And I do think that adds we've seen it with Star Wars as well.
Yeah.
It was in the original Star Wars trilogy, not in the prequels.
Yeah.
But it's coming back for J.J. Abrams, and I think that does add a level of believability because it looks more real, but also gives the actors something to kind of bounce off.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was a little bit surprised with the amount of CG because Colin Trevorrow has said so many times, and there's loads of quotes from him saying there's going to be loads of actual sets that you wouldn't, like he said, like you wouldn't believe the amount of sets and things we've actually built for the dinosaurs.
But I mean, the sets and the dinosaurs are two completely
yeah, but I mean, but he said like 4 dinosaurs and stuff that, he's used, and he wants it.
It is only the trailer, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, and what they showed, obviously, I don't know whatever that big water dinosaur is called.
Yeah.
I'd like to see you kind of do that, not using CG.
Yeah, exactly. How would you do that? It's giant.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's also said he's a big advocate for special effects as well. And he said, people write off CG and go, oh, CG. He's like, if CG's used well, it can be used really well. Like I think he said, so the shot in the trailer of going through the doors, which apparently isn't going to be in the final film.
Right.
But the doors are real. Everything around it isn't.
Yeah.
So I think he's using it in an interesting way, but then we have to, it's not a final thing. It's a trailer. We're months away from it.
Yeah, and there was I saw something that somebody tweeted yesterday about Dawn of the Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, that's right.
And like what Caesar looked like in the trailer versus what he looked like in the final film, and he looked way better. And so that's still got 7 months of polishing.
Yeah, there's still a lot of time to do
but this guy is saying because of the actual amount of CG in it rather than. But then we didn't get to see a lot of dinosaurs close up. We saw them, in the same way that we would have seen them in Jurassic Park, which is a lot of CG, a lot of sort of sweeping shots. Like every shot that was in the trailer, if that was from the original Jurassic Park trailer, it still would have been CG.
Yeah.
There were no sort of massive close up with the thing. So that doesn't worry me at all. Really.
No.
Yeah.
And he also says, does having bigger dinosaurs necessarily mean who put Michael Bay in my Jurassic Park?
See, that is interesting. I mean, originally I did sort of think. Like we said it in a conversation video we did yesterday, like it is a sort of like Gremlins new batch going, okay, well, let's make this dinosaur giant and make it a little bit different, fuse the 2 scariest dinosaurs together or something like that. I don't know, I just have faith.
What was the dinosaur that was in Jurassic Park 3?
Oh, the Spinosaurus.
Is that
one with the big head thing?
Yeah, is it real or is it made up?
Maybe
for
that's
the film?
a Spinosaurus.
No,
I think it's real.
I think it's real as well.
I think this is the first time they've actually made up a dinosaur for it.
Because did that take on 2 T-Rexes or something like that?
It was bigger than 2 T-Rexes. Yeah, it was bigger than them. So
I don't know. I know again, Krupa's got ridiculous theories around all of this about like camouflage T-Rexes. Well, what's a D-Rex? Is that real?
Well, this is apparently what the genetically modified thing is. Yeah, the thing you sort of see chasing Chris Pratt. And you also see it, like you see him, if you look at the trailer as well, which we noticed, you see him chasing Chris Pratt within the paddock that you see him looking at earlier on. You're looking at the scratches, because you can see the scratches in the background, which means the reason that we think that maybe it can camouflage itself is that Chris Pratt is maybe looking up and examining the scratch marks, and then goes further into the paddock and realizing, oh shit, it hasn't escaped. It's still in here. And they sort of,
and
that's
this
what
is
we
all
think.
to do with cuttlefish.
Apparently cuttlefish can change colour about
But
this
where
around
did the cuttlefish come from?
Well, I think it was like a rumour or a leak like way back of some like documents that were on a website, and there's some leaked things saying that they fused it with cuttlefish.
Krupa knows a lot about cuttlefish.
Yeah, he knows too much about cuttlefish. He's a cuttlefish man.
We were out last night and he was kind of talking through some of his theories about the film, and it's interesting stuff. Like I know that there is criticism about, genetically enhanced dinosaurs and creating dinosaurs, but I mean, if it does play into the narrative in a really cool way where it does have like these new dinosaurs fighting against the old original ones, that could be a really interesting territory to explore.
The video that we made, there was does Jurassic World need genetically modified dinosaurs? Like one of my favorite comments underneath it, and I do love IGN comments, like one of the favorite goes, well, actually the original dinosaurs are all fused with frogs, so technically they're all genetically modified. I was like, I like you.
Last thing he says is, for me alone, the piano score would have easily sold me.
Oh yeah, completely.
You've got to use
Harrowing.
the original music. If it doesn't use the original music, it's
I think
dead to me.
I think Giacchino said he's definitely going to use it. Like a couple of people I spoke to said they had a massive problem with the way that score was used, because that actual bit of score is always used it's always used in the original films to sort of indicate a sense of wonder.
Yeah.
So you have the giant score, and then you look out, and you know it's never used in the sort of like scary bits.
Yeah.
Whereas this is completely turned on its head, and it's used in a sort of like odd, scary way. For me, I thought that was a very clever way of using it, because it sort of trades on nostalgia, but at the same time, it's using it in a different way, and it's sort of tricking your sort of brain a little bit.
It's like the way that John Lewis reworks songs for their Christmas adverts.
Exactly, yeah. Exactly like that. But I didn't have a problem with that. I thought it was good.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Next piece of feedback. I thought we had one more piece of feedback.
Yeah, me, sorry. Yeah.
On,
I have a Jurassic Park one.
do you?
So
Awesome,
yeah.
sorry, I jumped you. You had the first piece of feedback. Sorry.
For me, it doesn't really matter what the trailer is like, as I was always going to watch the film. But I was slightly put off by how hyper real everything looked, and a great deal of the tactile brilliance of the original, i.e., the physical puppetry, which is what we were talking about, looked to be missing. Ultimately, there's no point in moaning, as A, we're all going to go see it, and B, it's not as if Jurassic Park has been slightly tarnished already by rubbish sequels. But as a mega fan, I was left a little cold.
I think that's fair enough points about this thing. But I have to say, like, the shots, the shot of like the Gallimimus is running, and the shots of the gyrosphere going past the Brachiosaurus.
Yeah.
I actually thought that they looked exactly like those dinosaurs looked exactly like they do in the original. Yeah. I don't know if that's a thing. Like they sort of did. And I don't want to talk about Jurassic World in the same breath as Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, because we know where that went.
Let's not do that at all.
You know, Crystal Skull looks like an Indiana Jones film. It's got that sort of look to it. Whereas, and I really hope they sort of done the same sort of thing, because the dinosaurs, the skin is sort of like the
get
texture.
Misquoted for this.
Yeah, exactly. But like the texture on the legs and things like that, like it looked like the original Jurassic World, Jurassic Park for me. I don't know. Maybe that was me.
The bits where they're in those funny kind of rolling balls and stuff.
Gyrospheres.
Felt like Jurassic Park.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
which is that's hugely important.
As long as it seems like they're doing this as well. The narrative plays into this excitement of being in this park and going on this tour, because you definitely had that in the first one when they're going through. It's almost like a roller coaster, and they're in the jeeps, you know, that are moving through, and it's like an experience. You feel like you're going through the park yourself, and it's really fun. So it'll be definitely interesting to see, because I mean, as you can see from the narrative, part of it looks like it is from the child's point of view. Yeah. Just like some of it was in the original film, getting to experience the park. So yeah, I guess we'll see how that plays out as well.
Yep.
There you go.
Awesome. I've got a cool one from Edward Lauder, who says, "Hi guys in Duck Hunt. I was wondering if you could map out a normal day in the life of a critic, either a film or game critic, or both. How many hours a week do you spend playing games and watching movies? How long does it take to so we should go through these maybe one by one." Because we talked about this today. Like I came from a place where we, even though I used to have to play video games and watch a lot of movies, we had to do a lot of that in our sort of spare time. We were so busy. But I don't know, maybe.
So it depends.
A lot.
Oh, well, the films are much easier, because you go and see a film, you know that within 2 hours you've seen that film.
Yeah.
But with games, it's it depends. Like Krupa spent days doing Assassin's Creed Rogue. Yeah. Because you've got to, we finish every single game that we review. Yeah. And then try and do as much of the side missions. Like, I've already pumped in, God, I don't know, 22 hours into Far Cry. Yeah. And I've just unlocked the second part of the map. Right. That is a huge amount of kind of game to kind of cover.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's, if you're going to do your job properly, that's what you've got to do. So, but I guess we only do, probably one review month, game review out of the UK. Yeah. Chris does a few more film reviews, but he tends to do most of his screenings tend to be in the evenings, occasionally at weekends as well. So, but unfortunately, this job is more writing, and video editing, stuff, rather than playing games. Yeah.
Talking about waffle irons.
But then, I had to do a Destiny video the other day, and for that I had to actually sit down and play for like 3-4 hours, and that was very cool. Yeah. But yeah, you play quite a lot in your own time, I think.
Yeah, but that's because it's the same. Like, I enjoy doing it.
This is sort of why we got these jobs in the first place. Yeah,
absolutely.
What else did he ask? How long does it take to compile all of your thoughts into a comprehensive review, ultimately leading towards an overall score? I mean, that changes depending on film or like game, I guess, which sort of answered that.
But it's one of those things, like, I've been reviewing games for long enough that within an hour I've got a pretty good sense of where this game within a scale is going to fit, unless something changed dramatically down the line. Yeah. Because in terms of, like the technical stuff, the mechanical stuff of the game, that's fixed usually from the start. Yeah. It's only the story or the narrative that kind of changes its pattern. So, you narrow down the score pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And then, depending what happens in the game, that will change.
That's good. Did you always know you wanted to become a critic, or was it something you just ended up doing by accident?
Well, I've spoken many times about it. I just ended up doing it. I knew someone who was working on a magazine.
Yeah.
I just quit college because I hated it. And I was quite good at a game called Dungeon Master. And that's how I got my start.
Really?
Wow.
That's good.
Doesn't really happen like that anymore, unfortunately.
No.
Yeah, no, it's really hard. I was at a wedding recently with a friend who also works in the industry, and he, because he's a loser, had mapped out every paid position in the UK. So he had in his head every paid position, full-time position in the UK games industry.
What?
Yeah, he was just like, he knew every single one and how many it was, and it's like depressingly low. So
I think that guy sounds like a loser, and I'm the guy that spent 14 hours playing COD Zombies and stuff, so that's pretty bad.
I'm feeling he writes for like news and business and stuff like that. So, but,
damn it, now he's cooler than me.
Yeah.
Overtaken again.
How did you get your break then?
I worked in sport for 3 years, and I knew I wanted to work in video games and films and stuff, and a job came up, and I just made sure I got that job.
I'm not even going to ask how you made sure you got that job.
My hands were very busy that week. No, I was hired to work on the official Nintendo magazine, and I love Nintendo, so I went in just super confident and made them give me the job with how good I was.
But you always like doing video production?
Yes, definitely. Yeah. I knew I wanted to work in video, and I think I got into it like quite a good time as well, because it was when a lot of companies knew they were meant to be doing video, but they didn't know how to do it. No. So I think if you can go in and go to somebody, well, I know you need me, but you want to give someone a job that you don't have to worry about. You're not going to have to worry about me. I'm going to get on and do it. That's fine. Good.
Yeah, it's job. Like so many kind of websites still don't take video seriously. Yeah. When the best way to see a video game in action is through videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing. I need both. Like I like reading like reviews, and I don't really read reviews. I don't watch video reviews. Yeah. But anything like leading up and afterwards, like people experiencing a game, that's what I like to read or watch. Yeah. But that's good. Yeah. This is quite cool. What is the review you're most proud of? The one you like to show your friends, colleagues, and potential employers.
Oh my gosh,
you're getting grilled here, Alex.
The thing is, I haven't really reviewed anything for a long time.
That's the thing. I'm not into
Dungeon Master.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't review that. That just got me the gig. The last review I did was God of War Ascension, and I absolutely hated that review process because famously it was patched after the game came out for a particular level, and I've kind of wiped it from my brain. But God, I spent about a day and a half on this one section of the game.
Oh, no.
And I was like, well, if Creeper will a testament to it, is like I was so close to killing people. But apart from that, like I haven't really reviewed that many games for IGN. It's been a very small number.
That's the thing. I don't like doing reviews and stuff. I've done things that I'm proud of, and like I managed to make a series where I got my nan to review video games. That's probably the thing I'm most proud of. Because it made her like a minor celebrity. Like she gets recognized in the street and things now.
Does she really?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh my gosh! All right.
Apparently, she's always been really cool about it as well. Like she got recognized at my niece's like school play or something, and they came up and were like, "Oh, you Gamer Grant, can I have your autograph?" My nan was like, "Yeah, of course, it's fine. Would you like a photo?" And they're like, "Yeah." And she was like, apparently she's just like absolutely fronted it out and just really cool about it.
Review?
She did loads. Yeah, it was a series. Yeah, that she did. She was like I don't even know what's below Z-list celebrity, but she was that. Who are your inspirations in the field of film or games journalism?
I wouldn't say I've got inspirations. I've got favourite developers.
Okay, yeah.
Kojima.
Yeah.
I absolutely admire everything that he does in terms of the polish and perfection. Also, Rockstar. Like, they never put out, apart from maybe LA Noire, a crap game. They're consistent in what they do. Certainly with
What did you think of LA Noire?
I didn't actually play it.
I really struggled to get in. Did you play it, Gav?
Yeah, I wasn't a fan.
I really struggled to get into it. There's a lot of walking around, looking at things.
Well, I think LA Noire was a weird one for them because obviously it was underneath the Rockstar banner, but it wasn't really kind of done through the Rockstar development process.
Yeah.
You had Rockstar people overseeing it, but it was done by Team Bondi and all that kind of stuff.
And I mean, I had false impressions of the game when I bought it. Immediately, I just got into a car and I was like, I'm gonna drive around and kill people and have some fun. Like I thought it was like GTA, but set in the past. But then it wasn't like that at all. I turned out to be a cop, so that didn't go too well with the city.
But yeah, I think Kojima, just because like I've loved every single Metal Gear. I love what he does with it, and
Yeah.
even though the storylines are absolutely batshit mental.
Well, I did a news piece today on the online is being revealed.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
tomorrow actually.
Oh,
Or
awesome.
very, very
Saturday,
soon.
isn't it? I think it's Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I got that wrong, man.
But yeah,
That's good.
I guess yeah. It's at the whatever it's called now, the video game.
Video Game Awards.
Oh, yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Awards, yeah.
But that's it. That's Ed Lauder. Thank you for your fantastic podcast.
Good
and
email.
Keeping a smile on my face. Kind
my
regards,
turn?
Ed
Yep.
Lauder.
Daryl Sharp. Duck Hunt. I've
Hunt.
just been reading that Tom Cruise is filming MI5 as we speak. For those of you who don't know, that's Mission Impossible 5.
Keep reading.
But see,
You're taking
okay,
too long on
okay.
this.
I didn't get time to pre-read, so expect a lot of mistakes. But more importantly, they are looking
It's like he's doing a news video, right?
Yeah.
I'm sweating profusely. They're having him play the Sean Connery role in the remake of Highlander. A film made
for dramatic
famous by
effect.
Connery playing a Spaniard with a Scottish accent, and Christopher Lambert?
Christopher Lambert, yeah.
Lambert. Frenchman playing a Scotsman with a French accent.
Is that how young you are? You don't know who Christopher Lambert is?
I'm sure I know his face. I just don't know how to pronounce
You've
his
heard of
name.
Highlander?
Yes.
Okay.
You better at
As of
you
10
asked that in a
seconds
way,
ago.
You asked that in a way that there was no way he could have said no.
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
You fucking knew it.
Straight out of it, Google. Yeah, we're going out tonight. I will quiz you.
Yeah.
Oh, God. This is not going to go well. If I'm honest, I think Cruise is probably a good pick for the role, but what are your thoughts on the remake? Cruise, who will play McLeod.
McLeod. You're fucking Irish. You should know how to say
It is
McLeod.
becoming very evident that I have not seen this film.
Oh my gosh.
He doesn't look
But
like
even
McLeod.
though- let me see.
McLeod. Is that a typo?
That's obviously McLeod.
McLeod. What was the rest of it?
God.
I can read it from here upside
I
down.
wish I'd have given it to you. McLeod.
And most importantly, who, if anyone, can play the soundtrack
Instead of Queen.
Wow.
instead of Queen? Friend of the show, Daryl Sharp. Daryl,
Just
first off, I am so sorry.
Ruining that email.
Yeah. Butchering Sharp's email. I actually thought about this the other day, and I thought if they were going to remake it, and I love Highlander,
Yeah.
if they were going to remake it, I would have had Fassbender.
Really?
Michael Fassbender.
That's a good shout.
Yeah, as McLeod.
He's
I think
great.
he'd been really good.
Yeah.
Like he's got, I don't know, he's got the build of the Highlander.
He's like Chris
but-
Pratt.
Cruise
He
is the
can't
right
do
person.
wrong.
Yeah.
No.
I just feel like everything Fassbender does is just
Yeah.
awesome.
I
He's just
don't
great.
get the casting of Tom Cruise as that.
No.
Doesn't make any sense to me.
He's a tiny little man.
Yeah. Or go for like a proper Scottish person and get James McAvoy in.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind him. I'd mind him. He's badass in
He's
film.
good. Yeah. What about the soundtrack?
I mean, if it was a couple of years ago, I would have said Muse, because they are basically Queen.
They
Yeah.
are. They're kind of the go-to for movie soundtracks, though, aren't they?
And like
It's
I defended Muse for so many years, but their last album is that's a pile of shit. I can make a better Muse album than that.
Didn't
I
they do
didn't actually
soundtrack
get it.
stuff for like
Yeah.
Twilight and things like that though? So I don't
Yeah, it's
know
a
if
good
it would
song they
work,
did for
so-
Twilight though. Like the Twilight soundtrack is really good.
You judged me. You judged me for listening to a song from the Twilight.
Yeah, but you
soundtrack.
listened to one of the shit ones.
What? It was good. Did you hear about this as well? You were making fun of me for that, and then that spread that I was listening to the Twilight soundtrack.
Good.
The next day, I was editing a news piece on the Assassin's Creed trailer,
Yeah.
which the soundtrack to that is Everybody Wants to Rule the World,
Oh,
or
yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
that
yeah.
really epic
Yeah.
song. So I was like, wow, I'm going to listen to this on Spotify. So I listened to it. It's from the Catching Fire soundtrack.
No, that's all right.
So there you
Fire's
go.
cool.
There you go. I like
I don't know who else instead of
But because I
Queen.
thought Muse, but then I can't think of any other kind of bands that have that sort of epic feel.
yeah, not to me. Don't know. Unless they go completely against type and get like Cypress Hill to do it. they haven't been around for a while. Get them
they've
in.
got like Tom Cruise as the lead. Yeah,
Yeah.
you should go off the wall.
How old is Tom Cruise now? He's got to be.
68?
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
That's crazy.
He's not
He's
68. No.
60s.
He can't be.
There's a way
make
we
it
can
happen.
check this.
Right.
All right, Alex, let's do a bet right now. I'm saying 56.
Oh, I was going to say 58.
Okay, well, that's not very exciting. Well, there we go.
Tom Cruise is
56.
54.
52.
There you go.
Yeah. So there we
Clenched
are.
it in the end.
I win.
Good.
Fantastic.
I don't know if I did win, but I win.
Have we got any more?
Okay, yes, one last piece of feedback from Carl Barrett says, do you think that there can be a surprise death in any of the upcoming Marvel Cinematic Universe movies? The contracts for the actors are public, so we know how many films they've got left. And therefore, we can take a reasonable guess as to when main characters will be killed off or retired. We all presume that Tony Stark may be killed off in Avengers 2, but now that we know he's going to turn up in 2016's Captain America.
Well, that's what I was going to... I mean, that was going to be my answer. Like, the contracts mean absolutely nothing because everyone, you know, his contract, Downey Jr.'s contract was only so long, so everyone was like, oh, he's going to die in the next one. And it sort of seemed like from Iron Man 3 that that's where they were going with it, and then he signed a massive new contract. So, I mean, also, I've sort of lost... not faith, because they're great movies, but I've sort of lost the element of danger. They've done it so many times where they've, you know, they actually killed someone off, and then it turns out he wasn't dead. Like, you know, in Captain,
a couple times.
In Captain America, you're meant to believe that Samuel Jackson is dead, and then he's obviously not. But at no point during that bit,
spoilers. It's fine.
It's been out ages, but at no point during that movie was I like, yeah, he's definitely in trouble here. And it, like, it happens in a lot of, you know, it happens in a lot of superhero movies. Like right at the end of Dark Knight Rises, spoilers if you haven't seen it. Like, I genuinely believed. I thought they've actually killed him.
I was kind of welling up.
And I was like, I can't believe they've done it. I absolutely can't believe they've done it. That is amazing.
And
then there he is.
Everyone says should have left the last shot. Just as, you know,
Yeah.
Alfred looking over, cut to black.
Oh, that would have been amazing, actually.
No, it's quite an Inception ending, that, is
And
it?
I like
like
the
that.
Inception endings. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I never feel like any of these guys are in any kind of real danger.
Alfred should have been in France with a spinning top, just watching it.
The genuine last movie that I watched where I thought the main characters might have died, and I genuinely thought, oh my God, they're actually in some proper peril here, was Toy Story 3.
Do you know what? I knew you were going to say Toy Story 3. I don't know why I thought you were going to say Toy. And you did.
Because that bit where they're in the dump and they're heading down, spoilers if you haven't seen it.
Die. It's a child's film.
Why? I genuinely thought this is the end, and but maybe that's, you know, it's good writing, it's good directing, that I genuinely thought, holy shit, they're going to kill off every single person in
William
Toy
Buzz
Story.
Lightyear. That would never happen in a Pixar.
There's a video on YouTube of a bunch of teenagers who got the film and put it into Final Cut Pro.
Okay.
So when it gets to that scene when they're going down into the fire pit, they made it fade to black and the credits roll. And they put that version of the DVD on when their parents were watching it, and they filmed it. And it just faded and end. And the mom was like, they're not dead, are they?
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh no! And she was so
Miss
upset.
Piggy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It was
mean,
McLeod.
McLeod.
That was quite
But
sad.
yeah, did we actually answer it?
I mean, yeah, I just don't think they will. I mean, I'd love to think that they would. And
Well, this is
you
the
know.
other problem with it as well when you're watching these films. If they introduce someone brand new who has like a big emotional tie, you're like, I think you're going to die.
Yeah.
Because you have no obligation to stay further in the films, and I'm emotionally attached to you. Like, I think they're going to kill you.
Yeah, well, from the trailer, they're bumping up a lot of sort of the human characters. I know a lot of them are human, but they're bumping up a lot of the sort of non-hero characters to sort of first tier, because there's that shot of them all hanging out, and there's a couple of non-Avengers there, sort of like from S.H.I.E.L.D., and there's a new character as well, a Korean actress who we don't know who she's playing yet.
I think that's what it will be if anyone's
dead.
disposable. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like in Star Trek where they're just like, we're going to take Ensign Jones. He's like, oh, shit. Damn it.
I thought he was signed up for 3 movies.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Other point he says is he read somewhere that the film industry that soon will have a tiering system for cinema tickets. I don't know where he got this from, but like £10, for example, to go and see a blockbuster, and then £4 or something to go and see a smaller indie film. Do we think that's a good idea?
I think that's a great idea.
I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I did see the other day that some cinemas have started charging £1 extra and literally calling it like blockbuster fee.
Really?
Yeah, so they charge £1 extra to go see like Hunger Games. Than they would something else.
To say of all the things to pay extra for.
Surely, wouldn't it be better to be flipped, where it's like the more like independent films would get more money, and then like for the big blockbusters,
but
you don't actually need the revenue.
But if you go to the cinema and you've got a choice of seeing, I don't know, Star Wars for £3 or some art house movie for £10.
There's a really interesting...
Yes, but I mean, that's not helping anyone, is it? Because then it means less people are going to be seeing indie films. And
There's a really interesting podcast called Planet Money, and each week they sort of take a system or something. It's kind of like Freakonomics, where they talk about, will this ever happen? And they did one recently on will it ever happen, that because they say it doesn't make any sense that there should be queues around the block for the latest premiere, and you pay £14 for it when you can go see a movie and be the only person in the cinema in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
And be charged the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why. There's all these different reasons for it. You should like really listen to it because it's a really great podcast.
Yeah.
So have like peak times.
Exactly, yeah, peak times and like peak movies and things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently like the rules are so set in stone that there's no way you can ever do it.
Yeah.
Oh, huge, yeah.
But that's like I didn't realise that they do kind of cheap kids screenings as well. So during the summer holidays, I went to go and see Mr. Peabody and Sherman, which I would never ever have seen.
Yeah.
But it was £3 a ticket, and I was like, "Well, I'll take my."
I
didn't go on my own.
Oh right, I was going to say, yeah.
I went with Scarlett. I'm not some kind of weird. Yeah. Oh my god!
on my birthday,
Just imagine you with a little backwards hat. 2 kids tickets, please.
I always take my birthday off work.
Right.
And on my birthday 2 years ago, I just split up with my girlfriend of like 9 years. But I thought, well, no, I always take the day off, and we used to spend it together. But I thought, well, no, I'm just going to go to the cinema or like do something fun until my friends finish work. It's a really fucking sad story.
So you bought a kid's ticket when you see Mr. Peabody.
So I was gonna go see a movie, and where I live in Brixton, like the Ritzy Picture House, have these things called like I think it's called like Screen Scream or something like that, which you can take your babies along to.
Oh yeah. Our local cinema does.
Yeah.
That. I've never been.
What is?
I can't think of anything worse. So you can take a baby along to it, and you know, obviously the baby's gonna cry and stuff. So it's like a mother and parent and baby
offended.
screening.
Maybe that's what Cameron's talking about: shitting yourself with an open mouth. It's a screen room full of babies.
But I can't remember what it's going to go see, and it's all adult movies as well, not like sex. movies.
Oh my god!
No,
What kind of sound was that?
It's so it's like, you know, like 18 rated and 15 rated. They're like they show every film, but in this sort of way. And I saw on the website that it was this Scream thing, and I thought, oh well, I still really want to see that film. Surely I can go along. I went along, and they were like, oh, and obviously I look like this, which is pretty much, if you had to draw a cartoon of a paedophile, it would be this. So I said, oh, can I get a ticket for that? And they were like, do you have a baby? I was like, no. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry, like, you have to have a baby to come to the screen. I was like, really? And I don't know why I said it. I went, but it's my birthday. That's it. The woman was like, oh, that doesn't matter. if anything, that's more. So I didn't get to see that film. It was pretty sad. I had to walk back.
That's a bit weird to take your newborn baby and to go and see an 18-rated film.
That's what I was thinking.
Like,
well, they don't know. They won't know.
Yeah, but they're not watching it. But you're still gonna have like loud sound and screams and stuff like that. Can't be a good environment.
Who would enjoy that? If it's a room full of babies, they're going to be crying.
Other parents who have given up on life, I reckon.
Yeah, that's got to be sad. And one person if
that's the only way that they can go see films in the cinema.
Yeah,
though.
my missus went to one. Yeah, but in 4.5 years, we've never used a babysitter.
Really?
No.
Nice.
It was mainly because I don't trust anybody with my child.
It's cheap.
Especially not you.
Yeah. Can I borrow it so I can go start going to these screenings? Oh, good. All right.
Right, let's move on to stuff that's out this week. Let's go movies first.
Okay, 2001 has been re-released, so it is one of the best sci-fi films I've ever seen. So if you haven't seen it, go see it.
Yeah. I'm going to apologise because we were talking about drilling, and they've started banging a whole hour before they're supposed to. So
who is getting paid to bang something against something else?
Builders.
Ridiculous. Granted, I'm getting paid to talk about waffles and sit here and joke about Gavin
they've
being
probably
a
got more of
pedophile,
a viable job than you have.
Much likely.
They make shit.
They could probably pronounce words as well, which is great.
But yeah, it's been re-released by the BFI, and we've got some really cool stuff on the site actually. Yeah. Because Bear Park and Tilly went to speak to the actors from the film, who I don't think they've even been doing anything for years, which is really good. I read his Reddit MMA the other day, AMA the other day, and MMA. He's well into it.
Mixed martial arts. That'd be amazing. 80-year-old guy.
Yeah, he's a really interesting guy, so I'm really interested to see the video actually.
Yeah, I don't know who was who, but Chris was saying that one of them was fairly amicable. The other guy,
couldn't give a shit.
So.
Yeah, that's the worst for an interview situation as well. If you
but that's if you've never seen that seen that film at the cinema, definitely worth going to check out.
Yeah, good.
Also at Paddington, so I took my daughter to go and see that, and we left after 40 minutes because she didn't stop crying. But if you haven't got children and you don't go to a mother and baby screening, it's quite funny by all accounts.
Okay, right, yeah, because Tilly quite liked it, didn't he?
Yeah.
So did Bear Park.
Well, I enjoyed it, but I just had a child sat on my lap.
How old is your daughter?
4.5.
Was she crying because she just couldn't be asked, or she was crying because of the film?
Well, yeah, like... Well, it doesn't matter. Spoilers.
Yeah.
Paddington's left on his own in London.
Okay.
And she's got this new thing of A, being lost,
Yeah.
and us losing her.
Yeah.
And also, like, we came out the screening and she said to me, "Mummy and Daddy, I don't want you to die." And you don't want the 4.5-year-old to say that.
Holy shit!
I know.
Awful.
I know. So,
What? So she understood then?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Damn.
Because at the time in the cinema, it was the cast and crew screening that were there to do a Q&A. So I was like, I was a bit mortified by this.
No, I wouldn't be. I'd have been
Was
like, saw
Paddington
your
there
film
himself?
out.
But I had to walk in front of everybody. We had to walk, like, you couldn't get out down the back. You had to walk in front of everybody. And it was just like, oh my God. And the PRs were waiting outside and they were like, "What's up?" And she was like, "Ugh."
She doesn't want us to die. That's what's up.
Yeah, exactly.
You just showed her mortality. She doesn't know about that.
I was a bit like, "God damn it." And then
Yeah.
she said that. I was like, okay, fair enough.
you're
You're pretty
right.
upset by this.
Well,
So-
I mean, there's been a huge thing about the fact that it's not a U, it's a PG.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
obviously why.
That's my lesson learned. I'm never
Yeah.
going to take her to anything other than use until
Yeah.
she's 58 or something like that.
Yeah.
I'll be dead by then.
Did you have to know a lot about the original show? or
I'm
anything
guessing
like
no.
that Okay,
Yeah.
because I never
No.
don't know anything about Paddington.
No,
So
well,
in
no,
fact,
you,
he's a
you don't
bear,
need to
so-
know.
Okay,
Yeah.
It's funny. You
That's
know, the CG, the bear itself, done really, really well.
awesome.
And
very cool.
like both myself and my missus said that we would watch it again,
Yeah.
but just not with our daughter.
Aw. Horrible Bosses 2 is also out. I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it. I love the first one.
Did you?
Yeah, I
Oh.
thought I've forgotten his name. Irish actor. Colin Firth.
From IT Crowd.
No, not Colin Firth. Colin Farrell.
Oh,
I
Colin
thought he
Farrell,
was
yeah.
great in it.
Oh,
He
no,
is really
not
good,
my
yeah.
team. Completely wrong.
Apparently, it's not quite as good, according to the IGN review. As the
Yeah, I
original.
read
Yeah,
that
I
as
didn't
well.
think it was that good.
You
Apparently,
didn't like the first one?
No.
I thought it was very funny.
apparently the casting is great because I love a lot of the actors in the second
Yeah.
one, like Charlie Day.
He's in the first one.
From he's in the first one as well.
Yeah.
I didn't see the first one, but
This
I'm getting
podcast goes
called
so
out
well
here.
for you.
I'm gonna- but yeah, so I think it's a great cast. So it's interesting to see like how you can go wrong when you have like such funny people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but then did you see Monuments Men this year?
Who
Bill
is it?
Murray. Bill Murray's in that, and it's
Oh no.
borderline unwatchable.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So that's
bad.
when it can go wrong. Actually, Rory.
Yeah.
Okay. Put me in my place there.
What games are out?
Little Big Planet 3, which Lucy reviewed in from our Australian team.
Yeah.
Didn't really.
6.8, I think she gave it.
So part of the problem she had was that it was buggy as hell.
Yeah.
And, like, I think it was 3 or 4 times the game like critically crashed and she lost all of her progress. And obviously
Yeah.
that is a game about
Oh,
building
man.
worlds, this, that, and the
Yeah.
other, going back to the
That's
drawing
awful.
board every single time.
I wouldn't have done it.
No. And I think, you know, aesthetically it's quite a pretty looking game. But certainly for me, I think the media molecule magic is just not there
Okay.
because it's not developed.
I mean, I think it's fun, and I like.
Yeah, you did some stuff.
Yeah, I
around
did some
it.
stuff with the game, and I can sort of see what you mean. It's because it's basically a Sumo Digital, so they've taken this amazing like sort of concept that Media Molecule have, and then they've gone and just made they've almost added a bit too much game stuff into it, if that makes any sense, which it shouldn't. But they've added a lot of sort of items and things you can get, and it just seems like they've added cool stuff, but it's stuff that I didn't really. That wasn't one of the reasons that I played Little Big Planet in the first place, and also there's a lot of. Like, I think Little Big Planet, and the big thing is, you can make your own levels, and that is really, really good, but something I'm not into at all. So it'd be interesting, maybe to speak to some of the people who, like, there's some guys just remade Final Fantasy VII.
No, I saw that,
which has been working on for, like, 8 years or something daft like that.
2 years.
2 years. Still daft. Still daft. Not quite as daft as 8 years now. But, it'd be interesting to speak to somebody like that who, is really into the sort of create mode.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even just for the people who create it, because I mean, like, a lot of the game time that I logged into, previous Little Big Planet games was playing maps that other people had created themselves, and you get really interesting ones. Like, you would get like Armageddon levels where there's things crashing down from the skies, ones that are filled with sharks that would chase after you. And I mean, not even investing any time in the story, if you just had your friends round, 4 of you just trying out all these different maps, you could spend hours just having so much fun exploring these other worlds people have created.
Yeah.
So it'd be definitely interesting to see if that passion from creating the world is going to carry through onto this title.
Yep. Super Smash Bros. Wii U, finally out.
So excited.
Yeah.
I've never been a Smash
So
Brothers
excited.
fan,
No, mate.
Fun fact,
but a great game.
I got lost in London because I was playing Smash Bros and doing a Smash run on the tube, and I looked up and I would missed my stop by like 5 stations.
You said fun fact.
That wasn't fun. It was fun for me until I was lost.
I really want to play this though because I want to try the amiibo stuff. I really want to try that.
Really, really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. There's a lot of integrated things. One of the things that they brought in with the Wii U is that you can do 8-player Smash, which is going to be absolute chaos. And you kind of wonder, you're like, who's really going to utilize that?
So that was my problem with Smash Brothers all along is that I never really felt like with a fighting game, it's I might be completely off the mark here, but it never felt like I was winning because I was doing the right thing at exactly the right time. It was just a free for all.
I 100% I agree. I never understand why I'm winning or why I'm not winning. But that is definitely there. It's a really, really deep game.
It is a curve because I have friends that I know that I'll beat pretty much every time, and I know that there's other friends that will beat me pretty much every time. Yeah. So there are levels, but there is an element of chaos to it. But the whole 8-player thing is cool because it's not only Wiimotes that you use; they're releasing controllers for it. And if you have the game on 3DS, you can hook your 3DS up to use it as a controller with your Wii U. So you can actually have 8 players. It's a much more accessible thing to do than to buy 8 controllers.
Yeah, it's cool.
Which, a lot of people will do.
Good.
So yeah.
And then also Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire.
Which I haven't had a chance to play. There was a demo. Apparently it's really, really good, but I haven't had a chance to play it.
Fun fact.
Well, let's put this to the test.
I've never played a Pokemon game.
Really?
No.
You said fun fact, so
That is a fun fact.
mine was more fun than that.
What, you sat on the tube for a bit too long?
I was real life Paddington. I was lost in London.
I mean, neither had me on the edge of my seat, but
but I've been in the games industry for years and I've never played a Pokemon game. Stick that in your pipe.
yeah, but that's not a good thing, is it?
That's incriminating rather than fun.
Yeah. You've just not fancied it, or
No.
You've never played one
man.
Pokemon game?
I love Pokemon games.
What about like Pokemon Stadium?
He's never played a Pokemon game. He's literally said this.
That's the
What about
headline.
Pokemon Black? What about
Well, I go
White?
through every single one of us. I've never
Yeah.
played it. Right.
Pokemon Black is probably my favorite DS game.
It's great.
Yeah, it's
Why?
really good. I think it was when it came out, everyone I knew was playing it. So it was one of those things where that's such a good thing that I was really into the story for the first time in ages as well, and it looked really, really nice, and there was loads of new features, and it really encouraged you to play with your mates and stuff. And I played online quite a lot as well, because you could play sort of with like people on your friends list. It really hit me in the balls with how good it was.
Is that a phrase?
And I might actually
In the
play.
Pokeballs.
Yeah.
It might be my Christmas game, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, I have been a huge Pokemon fan, as you could probably assume, straight up from the original release. And I mean, I think even more recently, they've been doing fantastic things to kind of modernize the games a little bit. There was a part was it did feel kind of repetitive. You'd start off town, you automatically know when you get the game.
Yeah.
Got to go here, beat whoever's trying to take over the world, and then defeat the Elite Four.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much the structure of every game. And now they're kind of moving away from that a little bit. There's stronger stories, and I mean, especially X and Y, and with this new release, bringing in the 3D elements to make the battle animations more exciting. So I feel they're definitely moving in the right direction, and I'm having a lot of fun. These were actually Ruby and Sapphire were one of my favorite original games. They were really.
So have you been playing this new one?
I haven't been playing the new one. No. The Xbox hunt is kind of taken over my life at the minute.
Okay.
But I definitely will be getting them in the future.
Awesome.
So if you had to pick one game, Smash Bros, because it's not going to be Little Big Planet, I don't think, or Pokemon.
This is tough. I might go Smash Bros. No, actually, I'll go Pokemon because I
Smash Brothers, not Bros.
Smash. Okay.
Like you wouldn't call it Super Mario
Mom,
Bros.
sorry.
It really does my head in when people
Super
call it Smash Bros.
It is Smash Bros.
Super Smash Brothers.
Anyway,
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
it does, man.
Gavin's got a knife. He's taking this really seriously.
Unless you're Bros, you don't know how to do it.
Super Smash Bros. That'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd play that.
He probably has no idea who Bros are.
No.
I know what you're talking about.
Good, that's all right.
Good. Right, that's it for this week's podcast. Thank you, Gav. Thank you, Rory.
No worries.
Thanks for having me.
Actually, we should tell people how they can drop us a line. It's the ridiculous email address, IGN_UKfeedback@IGN.com. Do drop us a line about anything we've spoken about or anything that's on your mind, and we will address it next week. So
Awesome.
until then, see you later.
Bye.